The Pentagon warns that we are not prepared at all for any form of alien invasion. The Pentagon, known for secrecy around extraterrestrial knowledge, released an alarming statement that we are not in any capacity prepared for a hypothetical alien invasion, which has people on edge about what could be out there, what power they could have, and what is it that the Pentagon is not telling us regarding extraterrestrial abilities. The report came from Inspector General Robert P. Storch when he announced that the declassification of the report on Thursday, noting it was released due to the, quote, significant public interest in how the DOD is addressing UAPs. And it has, I'd say it's got the internet by storm, but there's not many people really talking about this, so I thought I'd make a little video about it, kind of going through the article made by the Daily Mail, who were the ones that broke this story, and we can break it down as we go through. So, this was published on the 26th of January, so only a week or two ago. And it goes on to state, US officials do not have the capabilities to defend America against a hypothetical alien invasion, internal Pentagon watchdogs have determined. Obviously, that's not alarming or surprising in the slightest, because, you know, who does have the capabilities to try and stop an alien invasion when really we have no idea what any form of alien is capable of? A newly declassified document from the Department of Defense lacks comprehensive or coordinated effort to track and analyze UFOs, which have been rebranded Unidentified Anomalous Phenomena (UAP) in recent years. The Office of Inspector General (OIG) made an eerie conclusion that this blind spot in the DoD's defensive capabilities poses a threat to military forces and national security. To address the issues identified in the report, the OIG has made 11 recommendations, including the enforcement of protection policies and the development of new tools in the event of an extraterrestrial attack. Now, on the surface, obviously, you know, people want to be prepared for the worst, but why are we suddenly jumping into, why is this so important now? Why is it so important? Obviously, this is obviously all hypothetical. It could happen today, it could happen tomorrow, it could happen next year, it could never happen at all. We have no idea, because truly, on the surface, although we, report on aliens and we report on UFOs, we have no idea what's actually out there. This whole article is hypothetical, of course. DoD efforts identified to understand UAP has been irregular because of competing priorities, lack of substantive progress, and inconclusive findings, reads the evaluation of the DoD's actions regarding unidentified anomalous phenomena, previously issued August 2023. However, military pilots have continued to report UAP incidents despite the sporadic efforts of the DoD to identify, report and analyse the event. Now obviously that was why AARO was set up in the first place, AARO, the kind of division in which, any UAP, UFO sightings or reports go to AARO. They then try and tackle it and either confirm or deny. Obviously they never confirm, so it's always going to be something, and if it's not something that they can explain, then they'll just suddenly become very quiet on it. That's what I've learned anyway over the past few weeks of researching this. The DoD has not issued a comprehensive UAP response plan that identifies roles, responsibilities, requirements and coordination procedures for detecting, reporting, collecting, analysing and identified UAP incidents, OIG concluded. I mean, it's understandable that there's not really a comprehensive plan for it, I suppose, because when you think about it, it's probably not at the top of the priorities list. If you think about what is truly going on in the world at the moment with, internal warfare, I suppose, if you think about it from a global point of view, in comparison to the wider universe, there's bigger fish to be frying. There's the issues in Ukraine and Russia. I don't want to get too political, so I'm not going to go into it, but that's just one of the many things that's going on in the world right now. So their attention's probably divided. The agency conducted the work for evaluation from May 2021 through June 2023 and interviewed presidential and DoD policies, directives, and guidance. Those individuals are tasked with establishing requirements for intelligence gathering, counterintelligence, force protection, and civil liberty protections for. As a result, the DOD response to UAP incidents is uncoordinated and concentrated within each military department. In 2022, in July, the Pentagon set up an All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, AARO, to handle the reports of UAPs. AARO is responsible for synchronizing and standardizing the collection, analysis, and identification of UAP incidents. We already know this. However, OIG has questioned the abilities of the nation to organize and defend itself in a summary of the classified reports. OIG found that due to a lack of DoD level guidance, AARO has not developed a formal process to detect and report unidentified objects in US skies. Now, that's quite alarming when you think about it, because the whole job of this department is to do exactly that. Identify, analyze, report on UAPs in the skies of, well, I think it's just USA, and then put it in a nice little package to present to Congress. Now, they're not even doing that from the sounds of it. There's not going, because there's a distinct lack of guidance. That's what's been highlighted in this report. So, it begs the question of, what are they actually doing? Like, if they've not got the guidance and they're not kind of reporting on those incidents that they should be reporting on, what are they doing? Maybe there's a huge backlog, playing devil's advocate. Maybe there's a large backlog of already identified things that they've got to kind of sift through. Maybe they just don't have the time to kind of go and identify things for themselves. I don't know. UAPs are designated as special interest items among military officials who require air crews to document and report sightings within 24 hours of shutting down the engines of their own aircraft. Very interesting. Some of those unexplained observations have been sent to AARO, but the reported noted that the DoD does not require military services to do so, which also is incredibly interesting because that's the whole point of the division. DoD components have largely excluded geographic combatants commands, which are responsible for detecting, deterring, and preventing threats and attacks against the United States and its territories, possessions, and bases in their respective areas of responsibility. In developing UAP policies and procedures, OIG determined in the 16-page document. Now, scrolling down, it's a very, very long report, but we're almost there. To address the issues identified in the report, the DoD OIG said that they have made 11 recommendations to the Under Secretary of Defense for Intelligence and Security. For example, OIG recommended that the DoD issue a policy to integrate roles, responsibilities, requirements, and coordination procedures regarding UAP into existence, intelligence, counterintelligence, and force protection policies in procedures, the report reads. Excuse me. So, just basically dishing out roles in the event of a true UAP being identified. I mean, you would have thought that would have been established kind of off the bat. The whole point of AARO is to identify, or kind of at least look through these reports and then identify if it's a true UAP or if it's explainable. And if it's a true UAP, what do they do then if they've not got these roles already integrated? Do you know what I mean? It's pretty wild. The report also suggests that chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff issued guidance to the, quote, the geographic combatant commanders regarding unidentified anomalous phenomena detection, reporting, collection, analysis of identification within their area of responsibility. At a minimum, the guidance should include tools to help commands determine the threats posed by the unidentified anomalous phenomena. Now, the only thing that I've kind of got with that one is, that's all well and good, but how do you know what tools you're going to need to detect a UAP to then determine its threat level? Okay, so this is obviously is all hypothetical, but let's look at the jellyfish that was released by Jeremy Corbell a few weeks ago. we saw it. It wasn't able to be detected automatically by heat detection cameras or equipment because it was, excuse me, because it kept heating up and cooling down, and we could see that from the thermal camera when it went from a white to a darker colour. So we don't even have the technology to lock onto these things, let alone determine its potential threat level. So, you know, it's all well and good saying that they need the tools, but how do you go about getting the tools? That's my question. Inspector General Robert P. Storch announced the declassification of the report on Thursday, noting it was released due to the significant public interest in how the DoD is addressing UAPs. We are releasing this unclassified summary to be as transparent as possible with the American people about our oversight work on this important issue, Storch shared in the statement. So that's the end of the report from the Daily Mail. Now, you know, it's very... nothing really stands out as brand spanking new here. Obviously, if someone came to me and said, do you think the world governments are prepared for an alien invasion? My instant answer would be no. Because how could they be? How do we know? We could think we're prepared, and then they could come, aliens could turn up with 10 times bigger things than we anticipated, and then we're screwed. Aliens could appear in the form of, like, if you ever watched the film The Martian or whatever, you know, they could be the tiny little organisms. Like, that could be what an alien is. We don't know. Like, we think of aliens as Independence Day, where, you know, they're these big hulking machines, excuse me, these big hulking machines that will destroy, like, planets and stuff like this. You know, I don't think we can ever truly be prepared until you actually come face to face with what it is you're up against, if you know what I mean. And by that point, it's probably too late. But like I say, this is not to scaremonger. This is just hypotheticals. Interesting that it's been acknowledged. It begs the question as to why it's been acknowledged. Why now? What's going on in the world that this needs to be addressed or even acknowledged in the first place? A lot of questions. I've got a lot of questions. But, you know, I thought I'd report on it, let you guys know, because I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. I mean, the whole AARO situation's absolutely blown my mind, because they've got this whole division and department set up to detect, analyse, and report on UAPs and UFOs and aliens and stuff. Not just aliens, but anything that's unidentified. And they've not even got specific roles in the event of it being an alien. I would have thought if they set up this division, that'd be the first thing that they'd set in stone. But I'm not. That's why I'm not in charge. Let me know down in the comments below what you think. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on all this. While you're down there, be sure to jump, scare the hell out of that like button, subscribe if you're new, and tickle my little bell so you get notified whenever we upload. And until next time, guys, I hope that you have enjoyed. Cannot wait to see you in the next one, and I will spook to you later. Peace.